Hello, bird-loving tubers. Not me, though. And welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I'm actually a Zoom-hating and bird-hating tubers. Just a quick aside, so I've already started recording this episode once or twice. I'm having to restart it again, which of course always means it's a bit difficult to remember, what I've mentioned or not. The flow is off. However, we are ready to go, as you'd expect. I'll just briefly vent, just because might as well get it out of my system. Uh, so I have been fighting with Windows auto-adjusting microphone volumes for probably since I stopped using Windows 7. I feel like the last good version for me was around that era. I'm on Windows 10 now, which is also out of date, but I don't really want to upgrade to even worse versions. Anyway, that's not neither here nor there, so to speak. Basically, what frustrates me recording-wise, as far as the channel is concerned, is when Windows just ups the volume and then I don't notice, and then my audio quality is very poor because it has maxed out my microphone gain or something in the system, and I didn't notice. I didn't ask it to. I didn't do anything that should have caused it to change. It just did it automatically, and apparently it can do it the other way around too. So the last couple times I tried to record this episode, my volume was down, I don't know, to half or less of this. And it's I don't know why. Upwards seems to just be random on Windows updates. The downwards one was because I installed Zoom for a work meeting, which I don't normally use. And it has, all these things have settings for auto adjustment that I've turned off. And there are settings in Windows, control panel for disabling apps to do stuff like that. None of those seem to matter, even if I turn all the auto adjustments off, all the don't allow apps to have permanent permission for all this stuff. I can deny all those. I can do all the things you'd expect the tutorials tell you to do. It doesn't matter. Zoom wasn't even open. Zoom was literally shut down. Not open, not running in the background, like 100% end task closed. It's not running at all. And in between recording episodes, like literally, I didn't even restart my computer. I didn't do anything. I recorded an episode. I stopped. I was just, I might have changed my headset, my volume output from headphones to speakers or something, but I never changed the microphone. It stayed where it was. Nothing changed. And in between, like maybe a couple hours later, start recording the next episode. I don't even think I closed the emulator. Like I literally left my setup exactly the way it was for last episode, and and it was down to nothing. And I had to troubleshoot it because I didn't know what it was, and I just start trying different things, and I opened the Zoom app and see that it has independently, whilst being closed, reduced a volume setting that overrides Windows volume apparently, because my microphone was still at the normal Windows amount, and obviously the dial on the microphone was the same. But there's like a secret bonus modifier that you can only access when Zoom is open that seems to apply even when Zoom is closed, and you can't change it. But it will change on anyway. Oh, it's so frustrating. Anyway, I've ranted enough, but okay, so I'm off my game. Sorry. But today we are talking about Fire Emblem. We are invading Dane to rescue Crimea, and there's going to be a little story event coming up. Last episode, we started the war against Dane from Benyon with Ike. We are promoted to a lord. We've got a bird. We've got actually a few birds on the team now, and one of them is a bard bird, which is terrifying but also very helpful. So let's do what we do. I've already read this like twice, so sorry. I don't even remember how I commentated the first time. It's so frustrating. Princess Alincia's newly formed Crimean army, with Ike as its commander, marches to Torgaren to claim its first victory. Yeah, easy. Torgaren is a vast wall guarding Dane's border, manned by battalions of well-trained soldiers. It was long thought impenetrable, until a group of randos showed up and conquered it instantly. Yet the strength of the Crimean army, under General Ike's leadership, far outstrips Dane's expectations, and Torgaren falls. And I think the logic here is that they vastly underestimated us, which I guess, Ike is new to the job, although Ike's kind of never lost a battle at this point in his career, and the Grail mercenaries were pretty well renowned. It's kind of funny how little they believe in us. But even worse is underestimating the Benyon army, which, although we're not really like, we're not using their units, so to speak, we're using our elite squad. But I do think, realistically speaking, from what little I know about the world map in Tellius, Benyon could probably crush Dane. Like, it's much larger and richer, especially if allied to the birds, like the hawks and the tiger tribes, which they are right now, basically, at least via Ike. Yeah, it would not go well for Dane. So the fact that they're like, oh, it'll be fine, just crush them, yeah, super underestimated. The villains are always dumb, Learning of Gallia's increasing interest in the war, Ike wastes no time ordering his troops further into the heart of Dane. Oh yes, we also learn from Nasir, who's totally not a spy, or up to no good, that he's basically telling Ike what to do, that, Gallia is going to attack, as long as we keep attacking. They just didn't want to fight a losing war or something, right? The gears of history, which only move when Ike attacks enemies, had come to a halt with the fall of Crimea, but they slowly creaked to life once more. Something like that, anyway. Chapter 19. If you haven't got Volk to level 20 and you want to use him, now is the time. It's very cold. We should all need warm weather gear here. Naysala. King Naysala of Kilves, I would speak with you. Oh, if it isn't General Petrine, Petulant Trine. What brings you to these frosty mountains? I've no time for pleasantries. Is it true? Has Crimea's army breached Torgaren? Though I am loath to report it, yes. Bah! Kayachi, you worthless dog, defeated by that girl's motley band, just proves how useless he was. Surely it's not the general's fault alone. He was told that Crimea's army was weak, and that Torgaren was impregnable. They really should have closed the doors or something. Or something. And yet he was defeated. I'd say that someone severely underestimated our enemy, wouldn't you? Maybe someone's been feeding them some misinformation, Maybe we got some of our spies of our own. What was that? You dare insult Dane, Crow? Men have forfeited their lives for less. I wonder who would win, Naysala versus Petrine? Naysala, actually, without a doubt, I'm pretty sure. The Royal Lagoos are busted. There's really only one person I can think of that might stand a fight against them. And it's not her. Insult Dane? Never. Come now, General Petrine, I'm merely stating facts. Regardless of the previous battle's outcome, Crimea's army will be stopped here. I'm taking the field myself. Uh-oh, wait, I just said there's no one that can stand up against him. Sounds like you've set the stage for a grand performance. General Petrine, Kilvis will always stand at Dane's side. As long as we receive our payments, of course. If gold is all it takes, then may our friendship never end. See to it that your performance warrants such consideration. Homasa, come here. Yes. Work with King Kilvis and put a stop to Crimea's army. No screw-ups, or else. Leave it to me, General. I will not suffer another failure, King Kilvis. You must finish them, and do so quickly. Are we clear? I'm sick to death of being made a fool by that Crimean floozy and her pathetic band of sellswords. And the remaining portion of my fee. Don't worry, we have it. You'll get paid when the job's done. As long as we're clear on that point. Everything's settled. Well then, I'm off. Hooray! Dog's breath. Even by half-breed standards, those crows are complete scum. Give that one even the smallest opening and he'll steal the eyes from your skull. What an untrustworthy wretch. And Kilvis, he might have his reasons, but he has been very dishonorable so far. Literally sold out racing. Ike, I would like to print out the results of our last battle. You sold some garbage and forged an expensive weapon. And we got some combat XP and a little tiny bit of bonus XP. Hooray. No one died. Beep boop. Congratulations. I will leave. Straight to preps. Okay. Let's go through the info top to bottom. Bye. See you later. Oh, Mist, watch out. It is kind of slippery. Woo! Mist. Oh, I landed on my butt. My coccyx. I mean, hee hee. Be careful there, kid. Alright. Hey, watch. Jill, I'm gonna make a snow angel. Whee! Must be nice to be blissfully unaware of all the dangers. Jill? Yeah, who's there? 'Tis I, one-eyed man, Har. Captain Har, but this is the enemy camp. Well, I've been trying to track you down since you disappeared at Toha. I figured you were off chasing after the Crimeans. Never would have imagined you joined up. At first it was just circumstance, but, you know, they gave me a racist spear and I feel like that sent a message. Anyway, I'm with them because I want to be now. Spending time with them and coming into contact with the Laguz has shown me what a fool I was. Laguz? I never thought I would hear that woman from someone who once said subhuman with such absolute hatred. Sounds like you've had some good experiences with this happy little band. I knew if anyone would understand, it would be you, Captain. So, you're forming your own set of values for the first time. That's good. That's very good. But, what are you planning to do now? If you keep moving forward, you're going to face General Shiraham before long. Shiharam? I don't know. Causing trouble for my father was never my intent, but as a member of this army, I will face him with my shoulders straight and my head held high. So you're determined to see it through. I am. So be it. Nothing left to say. Farewell. The next time we meet, we will be enemies. Prepare yourself and get some rest. You know how important it is. Har. Can I talk to you? A few minutes ago, some random guy showed up and talked to Jill. I didn't know what was going on, so I found you. What should we do? It looked really serious. Jill trained in the Dane army. Fighting against her countrymen will be tough, no matter how prepared she thinks she is. I don't care. I don't want her to fight her dad. Okay, Ike. Yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to send her to fight her dad. Let's think about it. So it is nice that they give you this little hint. As much as you can steal enemies to join your army fairly regularly in Fire Emblem, there is a way for someone to steal them back. So be careful with that one once we run into her father. What do you guys think? Are we going to be able to perform our special attack? Well, yeah, for some reason we all picked up bows. Stares at Rolf angrily. Found some old scrolls, and maybe this is how to do it. Awesome! Yay! Well, there's a few things you gotta do. Ah, dang it. I hope it's not technical, because I don't understand words. Just summarize it. Fine. The most important thing is all use same weapon. So, bows. Great. A bow? You and I have to use bows? I hate bows. Boyd, are you even listening to me? Yes. And Rolf can only use bows because he's useless. So I had to pick a bow up instead of a good axe. And you have to carry around a useless bow most of the time. Crud. Fine, you better not slow us down, Rolf, you little brat. Stop calling me a brat. I'm better at archery than either of you. Maybe. Except I don't have a horse. So, Boyd, I'm actually maybe stronger than you, by the way. What did you say? Yeah, knock it off, Boyd. You're kind of bad with a bow, and you have no defense, and Rolf has better stats than you somehow, because someone blessed him with good RNG. Which means that even if Rolf has natural skill, whoever taught him the fundamentals was an expert archer. Yeah, but he just keeps blabbering about this nonsense that he taught himself. I totally did, yeah, I'm a prodigy. Well, judging by his stance, I think he's lying. There has been exactly one archer in the Grail Mercenaries, who was a sniper, in fact, an expert A-rank bow wielder. None of us knew how to use a bow when Rolf learned. I only picked it up recently, and same with you, Boyd. Beep. I guess Astrid's been around a little while, but he learned before she joined. Okay, what's the real story? Shh, don't tell him. The story that Rolf is lucky to have a genius for me like a brother. A genius like me for a brother. Stop messing around. What are you guys talking about? 3 of you have been huddled over here for a while. What you scheming? Scheming little boys. God. Hi, Ike. Scheming is such an ugly word. We're working on a special, yeah. Uh-oh. Gotta go. Sorry about that, Ike. It's kind of cold. I mean, it's odd. I don't know. I'm out. Really? It seems like you're the odd one. Yeah, sure. Do us a favor, though. Make sure the 3 of us are all together in the next battle. Don't forget to give us all bows. Yeah. Sure. But why? It's a surprise. I'm sure you'll like it. You got a surprise trick. We'll find out later. Alright. We can't just be standing around. Let's go. Special man? Special mandolin? Special... Manicotti? Wow. Manifesto? Probably. Nah, whatever. So we're gonna show it off. I regret in my life. Brr, I'll take any number of enemies, but this snow is another story. I think my beautiful wings are icing over. That does sound like trouble. Don't birds have like a special oil that makes their wings not freeze or something? I don't know. I never studied bird law. Are you gonna be able to fly? Yeah, of course I can fly. These wings aren't for looks, you know. They're made from flesh and blood and feathers. And bones that are hollow. Like me. That's why I weigh nothing. I'm very fragile and can be killed by a single kick. It's not like I'm some kind of animal that has to hibernate when winter rolls in. Humans like to sleep too when it's... Never mind. Sheesh, can't you Bjork tell the difference between comic exaggeration and serious conversation? You're kind of hard to read. Oh, haha. Sorry. Well, okay. Looks like someone taught you manners. Yep. By the way, I've been meaning to ask, what are our chances for victory? You'll have to talk to Soren, he's the calculator. We are at a disadvantage, though. What? That's not the answer I wanted. You gotta do better than that, Bjork General. I'm here. If we lose, how am I ever gonna show my face in the Phoenixes again? Well, it just means that when we win, you'll get more credit, because we took over a disadvantage, and it's more honorable or something. There's a man in Dane I need to find, and I will be the last thing he sees. Ha 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 ha! Ah! Ike thinks he can kill the Black Knight. Oh, he's hilarious. Ah, well said. I wish you could repeat that to today's younger generation. There are some weaklings back home I don't even want to call hawks. I'd love to stick them back in their eggs and watch them start over from scratch. I'm leaving. I'm speaking figuratively, you know, like a metaphor. I don't want to know. Silly Bjork. I'm out of here. I gotta warm up the old wings, or who knows what'll happen. Yeah, Birds. Nope. Never. Not even once. Excuse me. Oh, General Ike, what is it? Well, nothing. I'm just saying hello to all my bird friends. That is considerate. Yeah, your king's pretty generous. Not just racing, you know, he left 2 retainers. How do we pertain to the king's generosity? Well, you know, Racing kept apologizing, and, look, I can't read you, man. Am I missing something? I don't know, but I know that the king can survive without our help. Right, yeah, he is pretty strong and amazing and all that, and sure, I'm a lord, but I just, you know, look, I'm new at this, okay? Titania and Soren handle the logistics and details and stuff, and, they probably hold the whole army together, really. Our king does nothing special. Everyone just does what's needed. There is no chaos. Oh, that's cool. He's pretty trusted. That's natural. In Legu's society, the strongest become king. Unlike Bjork, kingship is not tied to blood. We have no weak kings. I'm sorry. Perhaps that was improper. No, I agree. You know, meritocracy, sure. Choose ruler by strength. That's cool. But, you know, maybe there's other things that are important besides, you know, physical strength, morality, mental fortitude, vision, motivation. You know, look, there's a few other things besides doing a lot of push-ups. When we face the Benyon troops, we target the units with weak leadership and eliminate them first. Bjork weapons can be very powerful, but not everyone wields them well. Since Bjork also choose generals by bloodlines, their competency is uneven, and that is a weakness of Bjork armies. As for you, General Ike, the time to prove yourself is approaching. Right, sure. Even if individually we're weak or strong, the strength is worthless if we're weak as a unit. Yeah, okay. But I'm pretty strong, mostly. An army's power comes from leadership and management. Okay, I think I get what you're trying to say. Maybe. Not sure we're going to be friends with this one. I took a little bit of creative license on that. Okay, I did do some thinking on supports just to make sure I didn't mess anything up. You know, Marcia is, you can kind of follow the chain from here because you get 1 A rank and 1 B rank. So we're going to have A rank Soren, B rank Oscar, which means Oscar needs A rank with Kieran if I don't give him anyone else. Which means Kieran will have an A rank with Oscar, but can have a B rank with Marcia, which we will do now. Which means Marcia will have a B rank maximum with Kieran, which means, well, this honestly, Tanith would be better than Rolf, but I already started Rolf, so I guess we'll get an A rank with Rolf, maybe? And then Rolf, I don't know. He could have B rank with Marcia and Mist. I think the idea was Marcia wanted an A rank with Kieran, or with Rolf, because Kieran had an A rank with Oscar. So, but we could go B rank with Rolf, and then C rank with Tanith or Gatry, so small bonuses. I think Earth works okay on C. At Mist, Rolf isn't maybe that important of a what am I trying to say? Of a support, given that, I mean, for one, Mist doesn't really attack, and Rolf might not get used ever again. But that's kind of a train. Boyd, I never found anyone to make friends with. I guess that's just how it goes. Volk has no friends. Rayson doesn't really have anyone free right now. Astrid certainly could be friends with Gatry if I used him, but, you know, I've been having trouble deploying him. Stefan's not going to come, so, you know, I kind of just picked the best supports I have access to given the people I've deployed. I think Mia Ilyana will work if I ever deploy them. The thing is, the way Path of Radiance works, you just get 1 point per map they're both deployed on. So if I don't deploy Mia, they won't grow, obviously. And I can't speed it up by, you know, ending turns beside each other like in some of them. Oh, I suppose one thing I should do, I didn't mention it last episode, but let's look at, very briefly, Ch19 as a, you know, recent recruit. Now, you might have gotten him a level up or two before he left, but it's pretty hard to get him more than 1 or 2 levels like, he's only with you with like 2 or 3 chapters before he bails. But yeah, I know we talked about his stats before. His growths are pretty good, but his bases, as it turns out, not that impressive, right? Now, to be fair, Rolf is, you know, on the blessed side of things, but I think even an average Rolf, if you bother to train him to sniper, will be pretty much better in every stat than Ch19. So it is kind of a shame that although Ch19 looks pretty good when when you're doing chapter 3 and 4 or whatever they were, for a promoted unit, his stats are kind of bad. And then he doesn't gain any levels between early game and late game. Another unit you could compare him to that joined around the same time was Tanith, and I didn't do any. I have never leveled her up. This is just her joining stats on the same map that you can recruit Shin on. He's technically 1 map behind her because you can't use him on the map that we could use Tanith on. And every single stat is worse. So, one more reason why Tanith is actually really good is a lot of pre-promotes are trash. And, yeah, I'm looking at that one. We're in the phase of the game where a lot of the recruit units are more like backups for you have a bunch of dead characters and you're just going to take anybody because you're desperate. I wouldn't say most of the late game joins are all that strong. Other than Tanith maybe being the last really good one. We'll see. There might be some others I forget about. But I know Ch19 for sure is not really worth it. And I would say kind of the same thing we talked about before. We had an era with too many low-level unpromoted units that needed training. There's a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch. So many of these guys. Although Stefan pretty overpowered, I would say. Kind of like Tanith. But now we're getting all the birds and stuff. Devdan is promoted. Like, actually, Devdan's not too bad. I mean, his stats aren't crazy, but better than Ch19, and he joined quite a few chapters earlier. Moram is way better. Oh, actually, I want to make sure I mention this before I forget. I have given bad information. I've passed on something about Laguz that I learned somewhere. I don't know if I just assumed it or someone told it or I read it in a guide. That I am wrong, and I am correcting misinformation. I thought that when they transformed, they got a stat multiplier, like doubled or 50% bonus or something depending on their race. That is incorrect. Each Laguz has a flat bonus for transformation stats. It's usually around plus 3 to 5 for the stats that it bonus boosts. And it, of course, lets them attack. They generally get, like, maybe 2 or 3 movement, some more weight, and a bunch of stats. But it's flat. It never changes. It never scales. So when they level up and they get 1 strength, that's just 1 strength. I think maybe Radiant Dawn works differently. I'll have to double check when we get there. But at the very least, the game we are playing right now, it's not like getting a +1 strength will turn into 2 strength while transformed, like I kind of thought. So don't worry about that. You can see the exact, well, you can get a pretty good idea with the Demiband. The Demiband actually gives you half of their transformation bonuses. So Moram should be 23 strength transformed from whatever his base strength was, because it's almost certainly 17 plus 6, and the Demiband is having it. I'm not sure if it rounds up or down, you know, if it's a +5 or whatever. But I think you can see pretty straightforward that for him, his transform bonus is something like 6 strength, 4 skill, 2 speed, 2 defense, and 2 resistance. And then probably 2 or 3 move as well. That gives you a pretty good idea of how it works. And it's just a flat bonus for all of them. But it's different for each of them, I believe. It's not like... that one of the reasons it's hard is it's not... Like, I kind of think Moram and Mordecai might be basically the same because they're the same class as Tigers, basically. But there's no guarantee that it's identical, actually. So, anyway. I guess you could technically sort of play around with it a little bit like this. Because now he loses his transform bonus. You can see what his original stats were. And with Mordecai's, you can kind of see his bases here. Equip the Demiband. He turns into a Tiger immediately. Looks like kind of the same penalties, so probably the same bonus for Tigers at the very least. So it might just be per, you know, Laguz race. Either way, I'm not too worried about it. I don't really like using them anyway. But that's how they actually work for their stats. So, clear that up immediately. Let's do that support I was talking about. Marcia! Oh, hiya, Kieran. How's your horse? Oh, he's much better, all thanks to you. When he took ill, I didn't know what to do, but your first aid saved the day. Poor guy was exhausted from constant marching. We've been fighting everywhere. I don't blame him for collapsing. Let him rest till he gets used to this new land. I mean, the high altitude, the snow, the cold. Horses aren't really mountain creatures exactly, you know. I had no such knowledge, for I had never fought beyond the borders of sweet Crimea. My horse, my mighty steed, has traveled via land and ocean, water, and now mountain. Poor thing. I thank you with all my heart. Pfft, please, no big deal. I've seen worse. Nevertheless, I, Crimean Royal Knight, 5th Platoon, Captain Kieran, shall return the favor no matter. Hey, big fella, I told you, no thanks necessary. I'm sure that we'll run into something you can help me with, or, you know, maybe. So you just help me out if that happens. You know, if it happens. Say no more. I will do so with my life. Yeah, keep your life. Oh, that reminds me. You wanted to ask me something. Oh, well, yes. My horse's illness and all, I had forgotten. But by my axe, I swear that I will... Yeah, you can keep your axe. Good gravy. I can't handle this guy. You know what? They're kind of a cute couple if they ever do hook up. Kind of like it. They're not bad supports. They don't both fly, but he might be one of her Marsh's better supports. Fire and Wind. Let me just look those up for interest's sake. Fire is attack 0.5 and hit rate 2.5. Good for axes. Given they have a... And also good for Kieran, given that he can gamble to do crit damage or crit rate if he has a high enough hit rate to half it. And Wind is hit rate and avoid. So, yeah, him and Marcia get quite a lot of... with B rank, That's plus 10% hit just by them being near each other. That's pretty cool. Oscar with Earth Wind is a little bit more avoid focused, almost entirely avoid focused. Oscar Kieran is like a defensive affinity, bond support. But Fire Wind is at least somewhat offensive. We get plus 1 damage and plus 5 hit rate and plus 2 avoid. That's not bad. Well, depends on your level. We get 5 avoid and 10 hits. So yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, I just wanted to double check how those two were doing. Is there anyone else that needs to talk? What about Jill Mist? Is that A? I think when I was going through it, I'm like, maybe Rolf will be A with Mist. That's kind of cute. I think it'd be better for Jill Mist, honestly. What are we looking at for supports? Thunder, Water. Thunder is defense avoid. Water is attack defense. So going from B to A, that will give another point of defense, which is good. That means Mist might survive and Jill will be super... Like, they're not going to be near each other super often. It won't give us any more attack power, but it will give us 2 more avoid and another point of defense. Yeah, sure. I also kind of like the fact that Mist is sort of redeeming Jill. I like their story maybe more than the others. Can I talk to you for a second, Mist? Sure, Jill. And also, we just saw that, Har showed up, so she's kind of having a bit of a plot moment here. I don't really know what to say. I just want to be with you. I'm kind of lonely. Tell me if I'm bothering you. No. Actually, I was hoping to see you because, I'm lonely too. I'm glad you're here. Great. Oh, hey, wasn't that something? Sure was. Small talk, am I right? The Serena's Forest. The way that Rayson and Leanne learned to make those shiny lights and brought the whole forest back to life. Yeah, that was... Jill, why are you crying? Because that made me understand the goons are bad. I am the one who was wrong. See, this is why we had to do the Mist support for Jill. She finally has her breakthrough at A rank Mist. Wrong about everything. Oh, Jill, don't cry. Now I'm crying too. Why? Why did you lie to me, Father? I've had to endure so much pain. I wish I'd just known the truth. My father lied to me, Mist. He lied to build me into a heartless warrior, a soldier of Dane. That can't be. But it is. No father could treat his child like a tool. There must be another reason. If he lied to you, he must have thought it was for the best. Yeah, no. You're a fool, Jill. A blind fool. I know you're feeling down, but questioning a father's love is ridiculous. You don't know the man. We'll kill him soon enough. I mean, I'll talk to him. A father wouldn't... Oh. Well, Mist lost her good dad, and Jill lost her bad dad, so these two being friends seems fair. Alright. Now they cry together about Mist's sad story. Thanks for talking about my father. I do appreciate it. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe you're right. Doubting even for a second the man who raised me with love and devotion and racism. Something must be wrong with me. No. But I have to choose my own path. I have to choose a path I believe in. I'm sure he'll totally understand. Yeah, totally. Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, that's what's done is done. Is there any other supports I'm interested in at the moment? If I never fill these in, I will show some C ranks, like Ch19 and Gatry or something. Just once I've locked in my proper final crew, I will, still pick up whatever I can at the end, I guess, just for interest's sake. Okay, BXP time. We don't have all that much. I think I just rounded out some levels, people that were close to leveling up. Maybe I think I tried to make sure Boyd got one good level. It's hard. He's suffering. And I'm not gonna bother with Ch19 or anything like that. So we don't have all that much. I don't think I'm changing any skills right now because it's complicated. And I think I forged a new bow because steel bows are pretty good against wyverns, and we're going to be fighting a lot of wyverns. So you can get pretty accurate, high damage bow. This will be the second forged steel bow. I wasn't I was not expecting that I was going to forge more of these, but I have more archers than normal in this particular run, and we are entering wyvern territory, which means this is the best time to have steel bows, in my opinion, because they will... Basically, 14 times 2 is 28, plus your strength is so much damage, even if you didn't have 20 strength. Let's say you had, like, Ch19, who's got, like, around 10 strength. That still would be 38 effective damage against a wyvern. Sure, minus their defense, but it's still going to chop them up pretty fast. So, that's something I think was pretty good. Anyway, can I just back out? Thank you. So that's the forge for today. The shop for today is nothing special. We're kind of done finding good stuff, although they might sell silver eventually. But for now, unlike some Fire Emblems with cool town shops where you can buy some cool stuff, like on the Game Boy Advance, seems like the best you'll ever get is just iron. For most of the game, iron, steel, and the ranged ones. But that's fine. Alright, let's drop all that. I'll be back to show you what I finally did. There's one more change. I gotta remember to give Mist a ward staff. Don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget. There's a couple things I forgot to do. But, the Dane border. So, Naysala. We might need to talk about this guy. He is coming to kill us. So, General, there looks to be a lot of enemy soldiers. Mostly Dane, but some crows. More than the last fight? Yeah, quite a few with that King Kilvis. Also, he's there. The Crow King himself is cooperating? Yep, and compared to the other crows, the King is a class by himself. Obviously, he's no match for Tabarn, but, well, you know, you should be pretty careful there, buddy. An entire unit under the command of King Kilvis. Not a good idea. The outcome of the battle hinges on how we deal with them. Maybe we have steel bows. Kilvis soldiers, As a fellow bird tribe, Laguz, what can you tell me? Oh, don't lump me together with those carrion birds. We are not partial to the crows. As you know, we are outmanned by the Dane troops. Is there any way to get the ravens to withdraw? That would really help, you know. Well, I mean, I could go talk to him if I had to. I don't think my speaking is going to do much. If you would like, I will try, but do not expect much. No matter the circumstance, I will never speak to a crow again. Alright, well, no matter what, I guess we're just giving the enemy more time to prepare. Time to kill some crows. By reloading the game and talking about final preps and then actually killing the crows. Alright. Actual prep screen. Blam. Alright, I will go back for a second. But this is same thing, right? I did all the same stuff. Nothing different here. I did spend most of my bonus XP. You know, Ike got a level. Mostly, I feel like at this point in the game, unless you're really trying to train someone up who's fallen behind, just getting somewhat decent levels to people who are nearly ready for a level up tends to be pretty good. It's generally not too expensive to get, you know, the last little bit of a level, and then you can just reset if it's bad without feeling too guilty, maybe, unless you feel guilty, which, well, that's up to you. Yeah, so people got a few levels, as is going to be tradition. I gave the new forged bow to Rolf, the triangles, because that's their special attack. I don't know what to call it other than triangles. Maybe this will help me remember. It is probably important that the weapon you use for the third person that triggers the special attack is as strong as possible, because I believe all the damage is calculated based on the final person's weapon, not the others. Although they do need to equip bows. I forget how the exact math works, but if I remember correctly, the final one is the most important. It might take like half the strength of the others or something, but or it's just a crit anyway, in which case might as well have max base damage. I think, you know, just cleaned up inventory a little bit. We didn't really have too much else to move around, I don't think. What I will say is, depending on your strategy here, Laguz Guard might be very important, or for fighting birds, including King Sylvaas. Other things to keep in mind, right, Mist. Alright, you're gonna keep that stupid sword, but you basically never need the men's staff anyway, because the 10 plus magic is almost always enough to heal to full now. 20 plus magic is better, but half the number of uses is kind of annoying. No need to go full HP yet. Silence, you know, we talked about that a little bit, but Ward gives a magic boost, magic resistance boost. So that is one thing I might want to be doing. If we were gonna, I'm not. There's two points where that is useful in the next battle. So I will mention that when we get back to the screen. But I think that's it. Everything else is pretty much the same as last fight, I think. Yeah, nothing else too different. Okay, so let's look at the map. So we get to deploy 13. I'm also bringing Janaf, because I'm going to go for the story, full story rather than full XP. If you can kill everything, then you get more XP. But there's also some bonus rewards I'm going to head for. So that means I'm not going to send Volk, which is actually really annoying. Mostly because there's just never anything to steal. I'm getting really frustrated. There is an item on this map, I'll show you in a second, but remember, we have max strength and speed, and no way to raise them any higher. He cannot be promoted early until literally after this chapter. So you cannot raise your caps until after chapter 19. Other people, Tanith still would be very good, of course. Mia, I would like to use. We'll get to her eventually. That's kind of it. I feel bad, because I do like to try to, in my Fire Emblem Let's Plays, bring like one of each class, give or take. So I would love to have a knight, and I'd also would have liked to have one of these soldiers. This is the... No, there was a halberdier class in Sacred Stones, right? But it's a very new job for Fire Emblem at this point in its lifestyle. So maybe 2 mages was too many or something, but yeah, I wouldn't mind showing those off. Similarly, Reese is like the only way to get a bishop. Maybe we've got too many paladins, but paladins are just really good. And honestly, there's too many people to use. I'm not using the cats, the tigers, and the birds either. So anyway, we get 13, and I'm kind of just sticking with my normal crew for the most part. Let's look at the map. So, snowy map. We got some cliffs, some birds, and this might be the first time we're dealing with ballista. So, I forget the exact mechanics, but you can see the range. It's from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's pretty standard, just like a siege tome. But they can't move and shoot it at all, so they are singular there. I forget the power on the ballista. I don't think it's crazy high, but, you know, be careful with that. And it is directional, so it doesn't shoot sideways very far. Or at least not backwards. So there's a few ballista that kind of somewhat counter your flyers if they don't have access to that full guard. Or just really good defense. I kind of think Jill isn't in too much threat anyway, but, you know, it's there. Lots of wyverns, some promoted wyvern lords. They're a little bit more dangerous, of course. And, of course, Naesala. So let's talk about him for a moment. He will always be transformed at max power, able to attack. That way, there's no way to cheese him, basically. Stats are very, very high, and he is very difficult to kill. Not impossible. I'll have you know I have done it, but it is risky. There's not really a guaranteed way to do it, let's say. Because you can miss. His avoid is too high. Even with good supports and stuff, it's pretty much impossible to guarantee like 100% hit rate, and he's going to counter and do a ton of damage. And he's going to double you almost 100% of the time. Unless you have a very high level promoted marcher or something. I don't even know if Pegasus Knights can get 27 or 28 speed. That's pushing the limits of even a Falcon Knight, I think. But there are a couple units that can get to not be doubled if you really work at it. However, there's another trick here. He has vantage. So if he has range, he will always go first, which is, bad. And he also has, I forget exactly how this works, but I believe this means it targets your resistance and counts as wind damage. So bad against birds without full guards. However, this does mean, I believe, that you can use the resistance boosting effects, like the ward staff or the pure water, to reduce, or basically raise your resistance to the point where maybe you don't just instantly die. It will be 33 base damage that is magical, I believe. So there are ways of getting it high enough, again, someone like Marsha with good resistances, you could get her up to 23 resistance. She's only taking 10 damage. She just has to hit him, Anyway, it's possible, but it is finicky. The other reason to have the ward staff is Homasa, the boss, who has a magic sword that does magic damage. And a fair amount, fair amount. Unfortunately, and this is why I mentioned Volk stats, you need to have higher speed than the target to be able to steal from them. So we cannot steal the elixir or get him to change the silver sword and steal the sonic sword. Or steal the silver sword if you prefer. We have the strength for it, you just need to be higher than their weight. But you do need one more speed than the boss, and that's impossible. So you can never steal those on this fight, unless you're cheating. So I went through the whole list of drops. Other than stuff like javelins, there's nothing really worth stealing. Vulneraries, hand axes, it's basically just garbage. Like, maybe you might want a short spear. Those are okay, but not that great. You could steal some vulneraries, again, there's lots of those. You could steal that men's staff, but I just talked about how they're not that good. You just sell them for, 500 gold or something. And there are some coins. Now, you're not going to be stealing it from him. Absolutely never happening. And there might be... Yeah, so this is like maybe the best thing to bring Volk for, is one elixir, which is good. That's good. Full health or worth like a few thousand gold to sell. There might be some coins you could steal, possibly. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. So you could get a bunch of coins and elixir if you really, really want. Otherwise, he doesn't help much. So the trick is, of course, you need Janaf and Rayson, or Ulki and Rayson. And although they didn't really tell you exactly how it works, I'll show it off here today. It should be fine. Let's get to it, though. I think that's it. Oh, right, bonus XP and stuff. So, because I'm going for sort of story mode victory rather than, killing everything, we have 9 turns for the regular bonus XP, which is fine. Shouldn't be that bad. And you get 30 more for every bird that leaves. And, I believe, a special item gifted from Naysala if you kill 0 birds and convince him to leave. And I want that ring. I want the thing he will give us if we complete the side objective. Now, this certainly means we're getting less overall experience. I'm very confident that killing all the birds is worth more than 30 XP each, or at least I'm pretty confident. Because killing them, even in one shot, is probably going to give you more than 30 XP at promoted levels. 30 bonus XP is going to translate into like 15 or 20 promoted XP, so not nearly as efficient. Anyway, it's fine. I think that's all to talk about. Okay. Let's get to it. It's really frustrating that you can't steal the boss's sonic sword, but such is life. Sir, the Crimeans have arrived. I hope they're prepared to pass into oblivion, for this will be their final resting place. Crimean stragglers join with an army on loan from Benyan. Heh. I've heard that they even have a betrayer in their midst, and yet they march on. What an odd group. But as long as Kilva stands on the side of Dane, they have no future. I suppose they're just unlucky. To be fair, he would have a reasonable chance of killing a bunch of us. I think normally we would probably, like, if you were willing to accept losses, you could probably kill him by losing a few of your army, but we got him. We got it. I know what to do. It appears the army has spotted us. Well, hard to be missed. We're pretty big. How will you proceed? No tricks. Ike doesn't believe in strategy. Hit him fast and hard. Overlevel your units. Kill them with overpowered stats. I'm sure you're aware of this, but if you don't do something about Kilvis, you're at a disadvantage. Yeah, I know about the Ravens, but I can't run away. Well, Kilvis and Rayson were friends once. Did you ask him to speak? Yeah, he said no. It seems Naysala was responsible for his capture at the hands of Duke Tanas. I can't really blame him. And the Hawks? They are also the bird tribe. Surely they have a connection. They didn't seem too excited. You could command them. Yeah, I know I'm a general, but look, there's some antagonism there. I don't really understand it. Trying to coerce them seems unfair. I'll just let them do whatever. Oh, that's so very like you, Ike. However, giving orders that are unpopular is often necessary. Maybe so, but I can only do the things I know how to do my own way. Come on, it's time to go. I do find it interesting in hindsight, with things that I know, that Nasir is so set on Ike talking to Naysala. It is very important to Nasir that Naysala is not killed here. Although unlikely, he doesn't want Naysala to die, and he doesn't want us to die. So if he is a traitor, he's a sneaky traitor. I feel like it's pretty clear. Anyway, so we have to try to stay out of the range of the birds, which is annoying because it doesn't show their attack range, because they don't have an attack until the enemy phase, some of them. You know, different transform meters. This guy will transform immediately, and have probably 8 move. So if we don't want to kill him, we have to be pretty cautious. It is a pain in the neck. I think Naysala might start charging towards us, but what we need to do is get someone into his range without dying. This whole thing is a bit of a puzzle again. What I want to do, ideally, I think, is lure these wyverns down quickly, which is probably a job for Marcia, although I'm probably going to have to dance her, which is fine. I mean, that's what we kind of expect. So I think Rayson is going to move up. Marcia is going to move here and get danced, and then she's going to try to kill all these wyverns while staying out of Naysala's range for now. But that should, assuming she can kill these guys and the archer at some point, then we can use Janaf to lure Naysala and Rayson to talk to Naysala. And we want to try to do that without, luring these guys over is the trick. So, with that said, I need someone tanky to take a shot by the ballista and maybe lure these guys over. That seems reasonable. That sounds like something maybe Oscar or Kieran or even just Ike could do. Ike is pretty tanky. Yeah, let's send him in there. I know he doesn't have a range 2 weapon, but it'll be fine. Is he in range of this as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. Okay, so Oscar, you provide support bonuses. Soren provides support bonuses. Want to make sure I kind of stood where I wanted Marcia to go. Oops. It's fine. I have confidence with her. All right, let's dance her out there. She has grown very well for us. So. All right. Steel bow, steel lance, steel lance, steel lance. Also can switch to short spears and javelins. So we need our own javelin equipped, or else it's not going to do too much. The important thing is to not be in range of Naysala. So, like, ideally I'd want her maybe on this square, but that's fine. Can't shove her. No. I could have done the turn 1 repositioning a little bit better then. I'm pretty sure there's a way to get her to there on the first turn, but this is probably okay. Also, a forged javelin would be great right now, by the way. Only just unlocked those recently. So keeping in mind, I'm trying to stay out of range of these guys. Basically, add 2 tiles, or 3 tiles from their range. So it's this tile, 1, 2, 3. So we have 1 more space besides Soren, but other than that, we're tight. I will keep Jill maybe near enough to support Marcia if it comes to it. I think that makes sense. Kieran can just, you know, I don't think the hand axe guy will come for him, but this is close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Just double checking that my math was right. Alright, we will need Janaf to be up here as well. His stats aren't too bad. Once he's transformed, he is pretty good. Like, to be fair, a lot of these Lagoos aren't bad. It's just, you know. It's hard to fit him in, you know. I do need to show off the special attack. So that's important. Don't forget about that. Alright, let's see if my secret technique works. Try not to kill birds. Alright, 1 guy goes for Ike. Pretty much as expected. Guy number 2. Oh, I should turn animations back on. You guys deserve some animations. I don't think we need to go too hard training up Ike, but getting him, like, maybe towards level 10 soon will be good. Oh, I turned off the stats screens. So, because we had the javelin equipped, of course, they decided to go with their spear that does more damage. But if I had equipped my lance, they would have certainly just attacked from range with no counters at all. So. Okay, we killed 1 with a crit and nearly killed the other 2. That's fine. Ballista shoots for nothing. Yeah. I had a feeling the base damage on them isn't very high. Maybe if, you know, effectiveness against flyers, it might do something, but Marcia's defense is just too high. Alright, Nasala's just moving on his own. Everybody's moving on their own. I don't like that. Oh, that makes this next turn really finicky. Alright. That's the important one for this round. Oh, how do I do this? Do I send... I think, if I remember correctly, I didn't put any save states down yet. Let's put a save state down. I think there's a world where we can dance Janaf right to Nasala. We just have to be very careful, but I think if we kill this Ballista and maybe this Archer, Janaf will be safe. Because not much else will reach him. And I'm pretty sure as long as Rayson is within range, like here basically, that's all we need to do. So I think, I don't know if he goes first though, so I need to make sure that the other birds aren't, I mean, it's possible they kill themselves on Janaf and there's nothing I can do. But I want to make sure my normal units aren't within range at least. So that means Jill has to kill this guy, and then Kanto out of the way of some birds, hopefully. They are very fast. So she should be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 technically. So she can get all the way back. No problemo. Okay, let's start with that. Make sure they die. I mean, absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, animations. My bad. Does Blue know how to play this game? Oh, I didn't switch her back. Okay, we can do this as well. It doesn't really make much difference because technically whichever of these is still alive will probably go after Rayson, which is slightly scary. Let's try to kill the boss man at least. Would have been better if we had a forged javelin to kill them with Marcia. Okay. Maybe there's a way to block him in too, I don't know. Or if he had like a siege tome. Okay, do we just send... So yeah, the problem is... Well, no, there is some spaces that are out of range of the birds. The transformed birds, anyway. Alright. Astrid only has 19 defense. Dang, she's been working out. She's actually more defensive than Kieran. I gave her the Draco shield because I thought she'd need it, and then Kieran here is struggling at 15. Dang. Well, I mean, she's good. What you guys say about that? She's just good. I don't think she's got much to worry about. Unless Nasala decided to kill her, but we got a plan for that. I guess you could have given her the Night Ward as well, and had, like, I could have passed that over or something. Still could, I guess. I guess getting rid of the Killer Axe would probably be beneficial. There's definitely some danger up there. Yeah, that is, not... Yeah, that's safe from trying to watch out for crow overlap. Interestingly enough, this should work. Assuming we can kill him like this. I haven't checked. 18 times 2, not enough. How about Oscar? 16, not even close. That's enough. Oh, man. Do we use... And then Kieran has to trade over something else besides a bow? Sure. Hey, it gets us a kill on a Killer Axe without taking any counters, so... Forged bow for the win. The forged weapons really are strong, though. It's traditional. And we get that to add to our stock. Yeah, so like I said, trade over to, I think just a regular lance. You can have a hand axe, because these are just sword guys. Well, they do have one with weapon advantage, but that's only 25 damage. It's not nothing, but I don't think we have to worry about it too much. Iron Blade is 21. Armor Slayer doesn't work on knights. Steel Lance. Yeah, I mean, this should be okay, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to put one more save down before I commit. Because Rayson dying is, of course, the most risky of maneuvers. If I could... Hold on. Actually, I can do this smarter. Janaf has 8 move, so he's going to end up here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't even need to go that far. Right? And then that way we can protect Rayson from the Wyvern. I think. The Wyvern does have a range 2 weapon. Also, it's important to make sure that... Wait. I made another mistake. That's why I saved it. Nasala has to be able to reach Rayson. I don't know... Oh, man. We can almost longbow that Wyvern, actually. Dang. That'd be cool. Well, someone's got to kill this axe guy. let's just let Ike deal with this for now, I think. That's not quite enough. That should do it. Let's get this guy out of the way. Sure. Showing off. That was Luna or something, I think. Maybe Sol. We haven't taken any damage, so we never heal. Or maybe Aether just activates them both at the same time. I forget. It doesn't really matter too much. Okay. So. Okay. The other thing is we need to make sure Rayson is in not the very edge of this, because that's a range 2. So yeah, that's one thing we can check now. Vortex does literally turn his beak into a 1-2 ranged weapon. So that's why like longbows can still hit him for a little bit of damage, maybe. If you could forge a longbow at least. But you need a very high strength character for that to work. And Rolf, 26, 31 technically. Does a little bit of damage with a longbow, but it's not much. So we don't really want to fight that if we can avoid it. Okay, so I want Rayson. I mean, is it a huge issue if this guy attacks him? 25 damage, 10 speed. I mean, he takes 23. If I hadn't given him the, if I didn't give him the Seraph robe for the extra HP, I think that one-shotted him. But we should be okay. Because I think any efforts I do to block the Wyvern from attacking Rayson will put... will stop Nesala from being able to reach him. Maybe like this tile? He's still going to be in range of a range... his weaker weapon, I guess. Maybe that's better. Put him right here. Maybe I could block that tile. Probably not. Maybe... maybe from here? I don't think... okay, I think if I had repositioned my cavalry a little bit differently, maybe I could have pulled that off. It's fine. I'm not... let's just do it like this. Smartly, though. I'm still not 100% sure this is going to work, but... this is why we got save states, so I don't have to redo the whole preps and everything again. Well, preps are saved anyway, but you know what I mean. You, King Kelvis, you egg-stealing snake. One of Tibarn's flock, eh? You are his eyes, if I'm not mistaken. It's not enough that you sold the White Prince to humans. Now you're fighting against other Lagoos. You, Hawks, rescued Rayson, didn't you? So everything worked out in the end. What's the problem? I'd like to repeat those words to the prince. I'd like you to repeat those words to the prince's face. Oh, Rayson is here. His eyes. I think it is kind of a joke that crow eyes aren't very good compared to hawk eyes. So Nesala didn't actually notice Rayson. Here? Why? He supports the Crimean army. The Bjork leading the army helped him in Serenus Forest. Helped him? Are you saying a human came to the aid of Rayson? A Laguz? Yes, and he also rescued Princess Leanne. You're really out of touch. Leanne's alive? Don't play the fool. You know the life of the forest returned. That was their power at work. What? Yes, I totally knew that. Of course. Listen up, Crow. You need to fly over there and talk to the prince. If you don't, I'm gonna know that you really are the enemy and report back to King Tibarn, and he will crush your bones. Think it over. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we could attack him, but that would be suicide. Only 24 damage times 2? And we do 2 times 1? Don't do that. I could have given him the Bjork guard. He takes half damage from these guys. But I think the positioning did work out pretty well. Steel Lance could go after him, but it's not going to kill him. There's no way one Steel Lance kills him. And it probably goes after Rayson anyway with his range too. Yeah, if I could... I don't want to block. I need to be careful that Naysala can get here, so... alright. Let's just move up. Stay out of range of birds for now, or at least try. I got that heroism axe. That's pretty cool. Alright. Don't need ward this turn, probably. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I prepped correctly. Alright, yeah, this is good. If they're going to just waste their attack here, nothing to worry about. Honestly, I think it would have been better to go after racing, but... There's definitely some proximity preference where they like to move little. And to be fair, it is smart. It keeps them a little bit more protected by cantoing back to their side of the map. So it's not all dumb. You might be dead. I don't think Astrid's in much threat, but that guy, yeah, he's dead. So that was a 72% hit. Yeah, they might all go after her because she's got the hand axe. Maybe I should have traded that out for a regular axe or something. Less hit rate. Well, you know what? Maybe it's better this way. They can't all stack up and hit her if she doesn't kill them. Maybe Oscar will do a little better. He does have weapon triangle. And he's very showy-offy. And he gets the support from Ike and Kieran, I think. So his general avoid is pretty stacked. I'm not sure Ike is close enough, but... So that's the longsword. Still only 5 damage. Like... Yeah, some of these, like, super effective weapons are just not really punchy enough. Especially given most mounted units have lances anyway. Like, it would work good against an axe cavalry, but do those even exist? Wait, what? Oh, just press the wrong button. Okay, good. This happened before the birds moved. I kind of had a feeling they saw the move first, but I wasn't 100% sure. So if you knew this would happen, you could move the rest of your army into the other crow ranges, but this should be fine. Rayson. Hey, Rayson, look at you. You look sharp, kid. Go away. Oh, well, you can talk. How dare you show your face? Well, I have been called brazen. Some have gone so far to say shameless. Come now. At least, let me give you a reason. Begone, my ears are closed. No reason for Raisin. Rayson, we're friends, aren't we? Oh, yes, friends. In fact, we're such good friends that you sold me off to the wretched sack of lard. I didn't really sell you. Besides, I planned on rescuing right away. You were just so impatient and flew away on your own. Are you blaming me for being kidnapped by someone that paid you? Well, no. Mate, look, it was I who was in the wrong, on all accounts. It's hard to say. No one was hurt in the end, right? Come on, smooth those ruffled feathers, all right? Plus, you found your sister. Yes, because I sold you. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't sell you to him. Yeah. Leon is alive. Yeah, Tibarn's attendant told me. Yeah, it's great, it's great. Yep, see, it never would have worked out if I hadn't done all what I did. When he sees her face, I'm sure King Lorze will feel better. Things are really looking up. I suppose if you hadn't deceived me and taken me to the forest, we might not have found her. I will forgive you. This once. Oh, Rayson, that's, with conditions. Will you accept? Fine, what are they? Pull your troops from the battle, now, and never enter combat against your fellow Lagoos. Oh, come on, that's asking too much. I already got paid for this job. Alright then, what do? You gonna fight the Crimean army in which I'm in service? You win. I'll take my soldiers and leave. I can't say what this will bring to my homeland. The crows need territory, you know. I have the fate of my nation to consider. Yeah, I know. We friends? Come to Kilvis for a visit. Neolucci will be pleased. Yeah, I'll do that when the war is over. Leanne and I will come. We're bringing Tabarn. Oh, yeah, no, that Tabarn. Yeah, I'll talk to him. Don't worry, he probably won't break all your bones. Thanks. Farewell. Watch yourself. You know, this is war. You could get killed by stray arrows and stuff. You don't have very many HP. Also, I got an I'm sorry present for you. Eh, it's just some sort of human trinket. It's a night ring made by Bjork. Don't make a disgusted face. Look, it's pretty useful. It's magic. Fine. Don't get killed, Racing. If anything were to happen, oh man, Neolucci would never let me hear the end of it. Thanks. That's what we went through this trouble for. Listen to me, Darkwings. We're out of here. Turn around. How dare they shoot my Darkwing allies? I need their bonus XP. Get out of here, you dumb birds. Alright. I think they... What? You're gonna get killed standing in front of the boss, drinking elixirs. Whatever, most of them are out. The important thing is that we got the night ring. I can kill most of the humans in a second. Alright, what did I go through all this trouble for? It is rather hard to get. This is a old school Fire Emblem item. It's usually kind of tricky to get with relatively, I would say most games that have it, it's not trivial to access. I'm thinking of Genealogy of the Holy War, rather finicky to get. Is there any other games that had some? I think this is not, there must be a couple others where you can get it. But it basically just gives you Canto when you're not a cavalry. And honestly, I actually think it works quite well on Racing, because now we can dance and continue to move. And his movement is pretty good, and that means he's just easier to position. Now that said, you could just take any of your non-cavalry, like say Boyd, and turn him into pseudo-cavalry, which is fair, because, you know, moving after you attack is good. I would say it might work best on someone like Rolf, because then you can shoot and get out of the way, which is perhaps worth it. It's not too bad on the mages either, I suppose. But they're a little bit lower base movement, so it does work better on high mobility characters because, you know, they've got more movement to move around with. Anyway, yeah, you can also put it on like the Lagoos, no doubt there. The Hawk people could now attack in Kanto, which would be pretty good, much closer to their, you know, Bjork versions. Okay, let's start a killing. I think we're good. Time to start killing everything. We basically made this fight like half as difficult. Probably nearly trivial, honestly, just by winning that. Just by convincing Naysala to leave, because Naysala was probably the most dangerous thing. Steel Bow, Sonic Sword. I don't think the boss moves, but I could be wrong. Actually, he might. I think he might actually move. But we're talking 22 magic damage. That's not too bad for some people. Maybe I just let's keep Jill out of range of any archers for now. Just do a quick kill on this guy. With a red axe of bloody death. That gray wyvern is looking kind of more like a gargoyle than a living creature. Weird. Maybe a little sick. Alright, you can wait there. Besides, they're just going to shoot the bird again. Maybe I do try to lure this guy down this turn. I'll think about it. Is there anything for looting that's worth even thinking of? Not really. I mean, we gotta kill people, but I didn't bring my thief, so... Right, I did want to... I was going to show off some triangle attacks. Maybe we'll try to triangle attack the boss. That would be kind of funny. There you go, Arboid with a bow. Warrior might be one of my least interesting Fire Emblem promoted classes. Is that literally the worst one for me traditionally? I almost never take it. If there's an option, I'll go Pirate or Berserker. Almost never like, oh boy, you get bows on promotion, right? Like, or if they're hero, sword and axes are better, right? Like, there's a lot of other things I would take first. We did take a little bit of damage on Astrid, so we should heal that up. Janaf is done. I'm not going to train him or anything, so you can get out of the way. I might have been able to set up a triangle attack right now, to be honest, but we really don't need it. These guys have nothing. Alright, Sniper. At least he kind of looks like a teenager with his updated model, so congrats. And yeah, I kind of... Actually, the bird is kind of blocking the boss. That's kind of funny. Maybe we can lure one of his cavalry down then. If the boss... I mean, I need to be careful, because if the bird moves first and then the boss attacks the same range... That's not true. I mean, we have 9 turns. I'm in 0 rush, really, but... funny. Anyway, let's go for this first. 16-16. Easy peasy. Showing on the detailed math version of the attack preview. Really good for your easy, you know, addition, subtraction, mental math. Just keep practicing, get really good at it. More garbage. This archer... Maybe we start flying Marcia over to deal with this stuff. If we're gonna kill them, basically. Maybe Racing could give her a little boost. Maybe. Kieran. That's easy. I mean, this fight's basically over, so we'll just sort of speed run it. The hard... Maybe, you know, I'm not sure. I've been considering doing another playthrough of Path of Radiance in the future. You know, just skipping all the story, which saves a lot of time. And then maybe focusing on... because I do really enjoy this game. Maybe focusing on different units. Because this is like my standard group. And I do feel like, you know, it would be nice to show some other characters off. There's so many builds. The game is, you know, relatively easy overall. So I don't need to use all these growth units and paladins. It just, you're seeing what it looks like with, you know, probably some of the best units mostly. Although I am bringing Oscar. Or sorry, not Oscar, Boyd. Oscar's good. I'm trying to think of how I could convince myself to use all the Lagoos in a single run. Maybe I could find a way to do it. Maybe I still would resort to a little bit of stat maxing of some sort to make myself feel a little bit better about it. But okay, how much? She's got 12 resistance, crazy speed. I'm not too worried about Sonic Sword her, and I don't think he can reach that tile anyway. So if that lures the cavalry down without the boss, that is actually quite good. And she can just bow it out, basically. And then... yeah, my mages or sages aren't really doing much. I think this tile should be safe, given the diagonal hopefully not famous last words. But I sure hope this tile is safe. But this should get Marcia in position to kill the archer on the ballista if I need to. Can't quite lure that guy. Oh, so this range here on the ballista, that's if the archer moves to here and shoots. Oh man, I really am one square away from where I want to be. Ah well. Doesn't really matter, but Kilvis has betrayed us. I think abandoned would be the more accurate term. Idiot. It's the same thing. Ha! Accursed subhumans. We never should have trusted them. I mean, yeah, once again, you're kind of short on units. Okay, it looks like the boss didn't move. Most of the birds are free. Okay. You could just drop the coins on your way. That would be great. Okay. We definitely were in range, and they definitely did not attack us. Of the archer, anyway. So, short axe means maybe we still kill with javelin anyway. I think if you put an archer on these, you can use them for yourself. But, like I said, they're not very good. So, it doesn't really make too much difference. Alright, so. Put on a save. I'm pretty sure if I move in range of the boss, he will attack. I think. I feel like I've done that before, but I could be wrong. So if he attacks us at maximum range, that will be 22 magic damage at 20 speed. Just put another save down just in case. Who would like to tank a 22 magic attack? Interestingly enough, our mages would love it. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Not doubled or anything, but Soren would actually double the boss. Doesn't really matter. Do I remember... Hold on. If it counts as Sonic... What element is that? Doesn't say. It might not have a fire or a fire, lightning, wind element, so the weapon we equip probably doesn't matter. Unfortunately, we don't have like a support partner around. Yeah. Just make sure my my team triangle attack is ready to go. Very important. Alright, we are stacked. Might as well get some dance XP. If the boss doesn't move, I'll just reload and do some... Well, I don't even know if I'll reload, but we'll try something different either way. I seem to recall him moving, but... You know, it's always a trick in these games. Nice! Getting the kill. Thanks, Marcia. Just saves us a turn of attacking. Alright, he did not move. Okay. Well, maybe it's easier this way anyway, because now we're all set up. And Rayson is in Mega Bird mode. 10 movements is kind of insane, plus he gets Kanto. Oh, yeah. Alright, then. Let's take the fight to the boss instead. So, with a shove, Ilyana could open with some lightning. Unfortunately, without dancing, it's going to be difficult to do any triangle attacks. that what I do? Maybe we just have the flyers flank. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think the bird dance will be enough to get us in there. It's just four units is all you need, right? All I was doing was waiting a turn to get maximum dance power. That's all. I mean, we could just go for the boss, but what fun would that be if Marcia just kills him on her own? Oh, pathetic. 14, not enough. Yeah. And maybe if I did do a second run through this game at some later time, instead of going for BXP, I would just max the level XP, which is a little bit different priority. We have A rank on lances. That's nice. There is an S rank lance, so still got a ways to go. Well, he has a bow equipped. So adept as well does mean he can get extra attacks. I think it's skill percent, so low, but you got to make sure you're a little bit safer than normal with tricks like that, right? Wow, she almost one-shots him herself. $27 damage, dang. If she had one more speed, she would two-shot in one round. Whatever, we'll just let her shoot. Let her shoot a little bit. My sword is lightning. Do you think you can follow its dance? Is it really lightning elemental? Looks more wind elemental to me. So for a variety of reasons, we have won. I mean, we got Kieran who could probably deal with it. Alright, so Oscar can get into range on his own. Make sure he's got a bow equipped. It also would just kill him. But we're gonna triangle attack. Even if it kills me. So we need specifically Boyd and Rolf to be a lot closer. And I think I'm gonna let Ike kill the priest, I guess. Some XP, I guess. No one took any damage at all. Like we're kind of crushing it, to say the least. But that is the trick of getting rid of Naesala. It is maybe the challenge is setting up a good Naesala opening. Because if you have to fight him plus all the crows aren't too hard to kill. But yeah, dealing with Naesala, not trivial. Okay, so triangles. Bad news. Oh no, Oscar's correct. We need one over there. Okay, Boyd, you're just setting up. Rolf is gonna do the attack. We gotta make sure you get a bow equipped. Bow equipped. We should be able to do it with Rolf. Ike, you go kill this war. Just do some war crimes. I mean, I'd almost rather Ike got the boss XP, but enjoy your 12 XP of blood money. Alright. Prepare yourself for triangles. Should work. The time is now. Triangle attack. Hey, I don't know how much damage. We don't even get a fancy animation. Look, for shame. At least the Game Boy Advance games, when the Pegasus Knights all attacked, there was a cool, you know, all three of them show up at once and do an attack animation. I'm pretty sure I remember that. We just get like, oh, huzzah, you take, I don't know, however much. We don't even know how much damage it did because it just killed him. So it only showed us his HP. Maybe that could have done 100 damage. The shame. You are shamed. You've been killed by Rolf and 2 other archers. Literally surrounded by archers. We won. Somehow? Question mark? I guess the birds left and it was super easy. It's because you did an excellent job of driving off the ravens. You didn't have to fight a single one. Naysayers should be happy. Yeah, if we had continued to fight them, we would have suffered more casualties. Maybe. Especially in Naysala, yes. Oh, I'll remove this again. You're welcome. I must extend thanks to Rayson. My Lord Ike, I'm pleased to see you. You haven't been injured, have you? Honestly, we didn't get injured enough. Mist is not getting enough XP. Princess Alinci, I am fine. I am unharmed. Oh, that's great. Ike, may I have a word? And if you don't mind, Princess Alinci, would you join us? Please join me in the building. What could it be? She's just mad we're not deploying her and the new paladins are stronger than she is. Let's go see her. This is... I forgot to equip the Night Ring also on the... on Rayson. He couldn't move after I danced because I forgot to equip the dumb thing. I'll get it next time. This is probably some angry comment already. Holy. Incredible, no? Gold. All gold. Dane must be filthy rich. There's so much, it doesn't even seem real. What do we do? Spoils of war. Naturally, it's ours. We shall forge the mightiest weapons. Okay, I'll borrow like 50 grand. Is that fair? That's a lot of money. What are you planning on doing? Oh, someone asked for 50 grand. Long time ago. Do you guys remember? I apologize, Commander. You're not a child. There's no reason for me to pry. Suspicion. My Lord Ike, please use this gold for the mercenary company. Until now, I haven't had the resources to adequately pay them. No, if I borrow the 50, that'll be enough. You won't borrow it, you'll accept it, and in good faith. The remainder will go to Soren for company maintenance. Would that be alright? Yes, of course. So I think Soren gets like 70 or something thousand. So we really got like over 100,000 gold. We completely robbed them. That's all the money that was supposed to go to the crows. Maybe we should have sent them a little bit. A little thank you coin. General Trine, please, General. I'm just a messenger. I have to tell you. I already heard, you dunderhead. I hated those filthy crows from the start. Even so, to be betrayed in such fashion... Ooh, someone will pay. Oh, you certainly had your way with us, didn't you, King Kilvis? But if you want to make an enemy of Dane, then so be it. Once Galley has fallen, we'll turn our attention on your puny nation, and wipe it off the face of the world. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but this is the trouble with aggressive expansion in Europa Universalis 4 and most Paradox games. You conquer one nation, annex them instantly, everyone else makes a coalition against you. You can't just keep going. Sure, they thought the crows were on their side, but they were fickle. And now everyone else on the continent that you were obviously trying to conquer is going to fight against you. It's just natural. It's how the world works. It's actually kind of poor diplomacy, really. Why are you still here? Do you find me amusing? Shall I make my lance dance for you? No, ma'am. Nope, never. Not at all. You beg your pardon. I'll be going. I'm off. Dog's breath. I need something. A brilliant plan. If this continues much longer, the king will have my head. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about you, Pantrine. You wanted to see me. Well, you waited a while. Quite a while, really. Take this. You wanted some gold. Finally scraped it together, eh? Well, I'll accept it. You're not going to count? Yeah, I trust you. Alright. I'll take that. What was promised? The report you wrote for my father. There wasn't any. What? No report. Never was. So you lied. You exploited my need to know about my father. There is something I must tell you. However, it could not be written down. It is too great a secret. Your father told me to wait until I thought you were mature enough to hear it, and then to tell you myself. Mature? 50,000 gold mature enough for you? Well, the gold was my idea. I thought it was a good way to test how resourceful and responsible you were. Get started. Spill the beans. I've waited a long time as Grail's hired shadow. A long time. I remained hidden from sight in case this day ever arrived that I needed to fulfill my contract. All that time for one job. Mm-hmm. If Grail were ever to go berserk, I was to stop him, to take his life. What? Actually, there was another thing. If Grail were ever slain, I was to watch over his son and tell him Grail's secret at an appropriate time. That's my job. Berserk? What are you talking about? Why would you have to kill him? Because of Laran's medallion. Oh, you mean the MacGuffin. What medallion? What are you talking about? The medallion your sister carries. Oh, the old bronze thing that glows sometimes and shines magic and lets her hear things? That thing? I thought that was just an old keepsake from Mom. Are you telling me it's important? Grail? What are we on, chapter 20? By the way, Grail told me it was an object of great peril, but nothing more. I did some investigating on my own, though. And what I discovered surprised me. Spill it. Laran was one of the Heron clan, an ancestor of our Prince Racin, who carried with him a bronze medallion. Long, long ago, a band of heroes defeated an evil god and imprisoned it therein. Uh-oh. An evil god? Pfft, what are you talking about? You think you're funny? You are joking. Unfortunately, I'm not, and I have no idea how this cursed thing came into Grail's possession. That being said, I do know that the men who hunted your father were actually seeking the medallion. Why they wanted it and what they planned to do with it, just thinking about it gives me chills. Maybe you shouldn't be dragging your sister with this medallion back into Dane, actually. This is the wrong time. You could have told us like a month ago. I'm finding all of this a little hard to believe. You said the medallion was an object of great peril? Then why would my father let Mist carry it? That doesn't make sense. It's because she can carry it safely. Actually, she's the only one. So we just need to keep her safe. If you want proof, think back. Have you ever once touched it? No? It's hers? I'm not a thief? A long time ago, I do remember reaching out when she had it in her hand, but my father scolded me harshly. And I assumed it was my sister's, so I'm a good boy. Compared to other people, the balance within your sister is extremely strong. Your mother, it seems, was the same. That's why they could bear it safely. The medallion is like a poison. It takes the worst aspects of a person and magnifies them 1,000-fold. Ooh. Grail touched it only once, and it drove him to complete madness. So that's what you meant when he said berserk? Yep. Bjork and Laguz are made of two forces, balance and chaos. In this, there is no difference. It is the proportion of balance to chaos that determines how much the medallion affects a person. In that sense, it predicts how much harm that person might do. Quite the MacGuffin. Your father was one of the preeminent swordsmen of his generation. That day, after he touched the medallion, 20 soldiers came for him. 20 highly trained killers. Your father barely broke a sweat cutting them down. Then he began attacking his neighbors, those who'd taken him in, concealed his identity, and called him friend. He slew them one by one until your mother rushed in, thinking only to save her husband from himself. Uh-huh. Over in an instant. Your mother grabbed the medallion from his hand and stepped away. They say she smiled as he pulled the sword from her breast, and forgave him as her lifeblood spilled into the street. My father killed my mother? No. It was the medallion. Its power is too great for any man, even one of your father's caliber. Me, you, if either of us touched it, I'm certain we would be consumed by madness. When your father regained his senses, he tracked me down. It seemed he'd heard rumors of me from before. He said he needed someone like me, closed-mouthed, skilled, and most importantly, willing to do any sort of work. Of course, after hearing what he wanted me to do, I turned him down. Grail was once a famed general. He was Sir Gawain, one of Dane's 4 riders, and I recognized him instantly. There was no chance someone like me would ever be able to stop him. But you took the job anyway. Why'd you change your mind? Grail had lost his wife, and his grief was overpowering. To keep anything like that from happening again, he crippled himself. He slashed the tendons in his sword hand so that he could not wield a sword again. He really is a sword main, and he just used an axe, because he just wanted to be an axe guy. I took the job because he had become someone my skill could handle. And even then, he was still far stronger than most men. So, when he had that duel with the Black Knight, he was far, far from proud. Didn't even want a sword. I don't know. Also, he was way stronger than me, and... okay. That is Grail's secret, as I know it. I now entrust you to the responsibility of seeing that the medallion does not fall into the wrong hands. Your sister must keep it. As my father lay dying, he told me to forget everything and live in peace. What did he mean? He didn't want you to lose yourself and go hunting for revenge against the Black Knight, I guess. He was killed much sooner than he ever expected. So my father's dying wish was for me to protect the medallion. If I do that, everything will be alright? Yeah. Totally. I believe so. At the very least, it must take precedence over the other things. I understand, but I'm still invading Dane, killing the Black Knight, and restoring Crimea for the princess, because I refuse to back down. We wouldn't have much of a game if we just retired. Oh, one last thing. Do you want to hire me in the event that you go berserk someday? If we make a deal, you won't have to worry about it anymore. As for payment, I can just take it out of the 50 grand you gave me. What do you say? Alright, Volk. You deserve a promotion. Wise decision. And in that case, I shall no longer conceal my true identity. He's been holding himself back, wearing the weighted armor, you know, barely using his full potential. Huh? Is he a thief? No, no, no. He's much more. In fact, our friend Volk all along. Hired thief? No, no, no. Hired killer. Hey, secret assassin. And the stats are pretty good. I mean, not very good defense. But I now can steal from people with 21 speeds. Which is most people. I'm not really a thief. I'm an assassin. And I got a cool cowl now. I'll take any job you got, no matter how dirty. Nice. And that means he's better at stealing too, because, you know. I don't think it's like the Game Boy Advance ones where he just gets the auto kill skill, where there's like a skill percent to just insta kill stuff, but we'll check that out next episode. Father, mother, why? Maybe that's his occult scroll. I will need to talk about those eventually. Anyway, 300 bonus XP for doing the map quickly, and then 300 for all the ravens escaping. Really, they're not ravens, they're crows. Come on, Fire Emblem developers. They're clearly crows. The ravens are on our side already. Alright, whew. Lots of story today. Well, we've learned a little bit more about Racin and Naysala. We've learned a little bit about the medallion, a little bit about Ike's father. We will learn some more in Path of Radiance, but, you know, not all. And I don't even know it all because I haven't really listened to the second half yet. And I am curious about some details that are... They will be expanded upon eventually, but it's a slow burn. So, story time with Blue Ankula will continue. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. That was a pretty easy chapter, all in all. But, trust me, You try to fight Naysala, and you let me know how it goes. Because if you haven't built someone up specifically to counter him, it's gonna be rough. But that ward staff, that's a good idea. Maybe some pure water, maybe some 3 range longbows if you've got a really well trained Shinon. I don't think Astrid can use longbows, so everyone else gets countered. You could bring a bolting tome on Ilyana to hit him, but I think his resistance is high enough that it's not going to do much. It's tough. It's a tough nut to crack. This is the solution, so to speak, and maybe the only optimal solution would be to kill all the birds and then get him to leave. But we'd lose the ring, I think, which it's a cool little ring. Maybe not as good as like 500 XP, but anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed, and have a great day.